much. Hi, Jan.
Welcome back to Ecosummit, Leo. Good to see you.
Thank you, Jan. Yeah, my name is Leopold von Bismarck. I'm an MD at Tado, where I'm responsible for marketing and direct sales. Thanks, Jan, again for having us. We're actually very thrilled to be here today because we've been friends with the Ecosummit crew for pretty much since the inception of Tado and Ecosummit. And we have some very exciting news to share today, but we'll get to that later on during the course of the day. So let me tell you about what we do at Tado. So essentially, what we do is we make heating systems and AC units smart. And in the world, we have about 1 billion boilers and AC units. So what we do is we essentially bring them online with a smart thermostat, and then we add a very intelligent control with our app and services on top of that. And in the end, that results in a higher comfort for the consumer, and it also saves on the energy bill, of course. So let me speak about why it's very tough to control heating systems. Because heating systems today, they're just not very good at reacting to change in conditions. So for example, if the residents leave the home, they won't recognize it at all. If someone comes back, they won't preheat, so it's nice and comfortable. If the weather changes, for example, if there's more humidity in the air when the rain starts, most heating systems won't recognize that. So in the end, that results in most people just heating the whole day at 22 degrees, whether they're at work or whether they're at home. It just doesn't matter, and that's a huge waste. And so we sat down at Tado a couple of years ago and we said, we got to do better than that. We got to build something nice to solve that. So what we built is a smart thermostat with an app that is basically based on 3 main functionalities. One is geofencing, so as soon as the last person has left the home, Tado will lower the temperature to save energy without you having to interact with an app. It's completely automatically. And when the first person comes back home, it'll start to preheat, so it's nice and comfortable when you get there. The second thing is weather forecast. So Tado constantly monitors the weather forecast in the next couple of days, and if it's going to be a sunny day tomorrow, Tado might decide to lower the heating already today, especially with underflow heating that's very slow. And when the underflow heating then starts to get a little bit cooler, the sun will take over and warm up the house because there's no reason to do double heating in this way. So this also results in avoiding the overshooting of inside temperatures that you sometimes get in such houses. The third thing is it's called model predictive control. So the system constantly learns about how your house reacts to heating, how it reacts to solar radiation. So we learn how fast it cools down, how fast it heats up. And we use this information to reach the desired temperature for the consumer a lot more efficiently. So this is what the app looks like. We call it a digital assistant because it works completely in the background without you having to press a button. But you can at any time open the app and do anything you want in it, override the settings. If someone's home, it'll show a yellow screen, the home mode. If all the residents are gone, it's going to be green. If you're if you're going to sleep, it's going to be blue. And there's a manual mode as well, and a smart schedule that allows you to set different temperatures at different times of the day because many people like it just a little bit warmer at night when they come back. So we strongly believe that when you build a product in the connected home space, that you need to come from solving someone's problem. You need to focus on the use case. It's not about making the home smart. It's really about looking at the consumer and looking at their needs and desires. So we decided we want to focus completely vertically on heating and cooling, so intelligent climate control. But we also see that consumers in the future, they have the desire to interconnect their products, all these different vertical products that they buy in the market right now. They will want to interconnect them and share functionalities in between them. So I think it's very important as a vertical player to really keep an eye on the platform space as well and see, okay, who's developing a horizontal solution that will last for the future. And we're strong believers of HomeKit, Apple. We've been working with IFTTT for a while. We've recently announced a partnership with AT&T in the US and in the UK as well. So on the utility level, on the telco level, and on the big players such as Apple, Google, Microsoft, etc., we believe this is where the platforms are going to evolve, and we have a responsibility to make ourselves compatible to them. So One thing that is a little bit special in the heating space right now is you usually get one invoice per year from the utility, and you have absolutely no idea how that relates to the comfort you received during the last 365 days. So for example, if you turn up the heating for 2 degrees in your bedroom, you will have no idea what that cost you. And I think we believe we want to empower the user to make a conscious decision in terms of investment for comfort. So when you decide, I sleep at a room that is 2 degrees cooler, I want to know what that saved me in this very moment. So in the Tado app, you can see this effect instantly. It's a little bit comparable to Drive Now, for example, where you know exactly if I take the car, mobility for 5 minutes, I know exactly what that will cost me. So one channel that we've built up in the last couple of years is called the Installer channel. It's a program we call Tado Professional. So we work with installers in all our core markets together. They can sign up, and they have a remote monitoring portal, so they can actually see what's going on in the homes of their customers. So we usually connect to the most sophisticated interface at the boiler, which is the digital bus interface, and that allows us to take a lot of information from the system. So, for example, error codes that happen, or other data that we can use to offer these kind of services. And we can feed that back to the installer, who can use it to prepare for their maintenance visits. They can take the spare parts they need. So they don't have to go to the consumer twice and reduce their OPEX by that, essentially. On the consumer side, we call it Tado Care. So whenever something's wrong with the heating system, you get a push notification. Hey, something's gone wrong. We can fix it for you. We send this installer from nearby. It's going to cost you that amount. So that's really like a 360 degrees risk-free package for the boiler. So if you look at the Smart Thermostat portfolio right now, it's actually a very, very good commercial case for the consumer as well. You save up to 31% of energy, which will amount to like 300 euros in Germany, for example, roughly. And at a cost of roughly 10 euros a month, that is something that really pays off instantly. I think it's very, very clear. We've now come full circle with a new product, which you see on the right side. It's the smart radiator valves that we will start shipping in Q3 this year. Very excited about that, because that essentially allows us to pretty much connect all the homes in Europe now, and we've been waiting a long time for that. So 95% compatibility all in. The lifetimes in the smart thermostat space, and specifically with Tado, are very high. So we're looking at more than 10 years at the moment. We're active in 12 markets, 10 out of which are in Europe, and then Singapore and the US for the cooling product that you see in the middle with the blue screen here, allowing you to control your AC. So a little bit about the company. So founded 2011 in Munich. The idea was triggered in 2010, I believe, and we have about 100 employees, all very, very sales and tech focused. They really love what they're doing, and that's great for recruiting. We don't have to pitch a lot about the company. When they come in, they feel the energy and the power in the office, and I think that's great. Every morning I go in. We have had a revenue growth rate of 400% on average, both in 2014 and 2015 as well. So it's going up, and it's a lot of fun to really see that the company doesn't only work on the tech side, but it also works on the market side. I think that's quite clear. We've received, until very recently, 30 million in VC funding, and I say that with pride. I think it's great that investors believe in our product as well. So I ask you all to join me on this mission to make all the heating systems and ACs smart around the world. So this is what we want to achieve, and this is what we work on every day. And I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen, and let's have a chat later on. Thank you very much.
All right, Leo, cool.